video, we're going to look at nesting, in particular, adding sheets to a nest. We'll start by going to Toolpaths and down to Nesting. This will default to have one sheet in our nest. We can modify the size as needed. We can have it create the sheets necessary, or we can limit to a specific number of sheets. To add another size sheet, we can right-click and go to Add Rectangle. We can modify the size as needed. We can add a sheet that is not a rectangular shape by right-clicking and going to Add Chained. Here we can select geometry that has been drawn for this shape of sheet. If this is a sheet that we commonly use, we can save it to a library by right-clicking and going to Save to Library. Here we can create a new library or add to an existing one. To add a sheet from a library, we can right-click and go to Import from Library. Select your library, and it will give us the list of the different sheets available. You'll notice that the size is shown here. If we want to add a sheet, we can select it and hit OK. Keep in mind this will not delete the sheet from your library. This is useful for maintaining libraries of sheet sizes that you commonly use, or if you're using this to manage scrap, you would select your sheet, hit delete on your keyboard, and click OK. It is giving us a warning that we are using a similar name, which is fine. We can allow it to rename and click OK. So now our sheet has been added, and it has also been removed from our library. In this video, we're going to look at nesting, and in particular the scrap material generated. So we can start off by going to Toolpaths and down to Nesting. Here we're going to use our default sheet size, and we'll go to Parts, and I created some parts ahead of time that we can nest just for this exercise. We can also modify some of the quantities here if we need to. If we go to the configuration for our nesting, we can have it set to Save our scrap sheets and click OK. If we go to configuration, we can make sure that Save Scrap Sheet is turned on. We can also specify which library it's going to. In this case, we're just going to use our scrap library and click OK. We can also set this to trim our sheets to square off our cutoffs. You can specify which direction you want to go, or whether it's on the horizontal or vertical first. If we go to Advanced, we can specify which tool we're using to do that cutoff operation. And here we can see our nested sheet and our cutoff operation. Now if we start a new nest, we can nest those parts again. And here we can right-click and go to Import from Library. Here we can select the scrap library that we've saved our cutoff to before, and we'll see that that cutoff is available. We can select that sheet. If we want to delete our cutoff because it's the only one we have available, we can press Delete on our keyboard and click OK. This will add that cutoff to our nest, but it will also delete it from our library. Then we can go through our nesting process like we normally would. If you liked this video and would like to see more tips, tricks, and how-tos, please visit us at inhousesolutions.com and like us on your favorite social media feeds.